Today we're going to talk about the importance of mental practice.
Need to confess.
In the mindset of the guy who was waiting in line with other people.
Always.
Do you remember what that guy was thinking?
Always.
Were you daydreaming of this? Was that even possible?
Every second of every day I was daydreaming of.
People are talking to me, and in my head I'm counting something. I'm counting up a number, or I'm knee deep in a sequence on the mat or on the feet. That's my life, sequences and numbers, nothing else.
Every time he zones out, he's thinking about himself fighting. Just listen to how he emphasizes the word frequently.
Does it feel the way you thought it would?
Yeah, it does. It feels beautiful. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality.
So last Sunday was all about that hype, the hype train. Conor McGregor versus Mayweather. And during the build-up or during the week, I was watching some videos trying to get myself all about that hype. And I watched the video that was talking about Conor McGregor's mental game. Not only his confidence, but also the way he talks about things, the way he thinks about things, and just his whole kind of demeanor. And one of the really interesting concepts or interesting things he was talking about was that how many mental reps he gets in. So it doesn't just talk about how he's going to finish someone in a fight. He doesn't just spar. He thinks about the fight. He thinks about how the fight's going to happen. He thinks about what shot he's going to land. He thinks about how he's going to counter them. After he's analysed an opponent and he knows how he's going to counter that opponent, he puts in a lot of mental preparation, a lot of thought into how he's going to do it. In some of the interviews with Conor McGregor, he was saying, for instance, if he was in a queue for a shop, or he was driving, or there was somewhere during the day, like he's brushing his teeth, somewhere where there's like normal mental downtime, he'd actually be thinking about what he was going to do, how he was going to throw the shot. He thought about the arena, his entrance, the morning of the fight. So he was practicing every single aspect of that day and how it was going to go, so that he's relived that moment thousands of times in his head. And that got me thinking as into how little this kind of whole thing's done within powerlifting. It's certainly something that I've maybe done more of recently, but definitely something not in the past I would have done about. When's the last time you actually sat down and like kind of digested your own form, your own squat form, your own bench form, your own deadlift form? Before a competition, when's the last time you set out your kit, you visualized putting all your kit in the bag the next morning, getting the train, get the plane, get in the car, however you're going to get there, get to the venue, weighing in, how are you going to warm up, what sequence are you going to warm up, what's it going to feel like, how the lights and weights are going to feel, how that squat opener is going to feel, how you're going to bury it, how it feels easy. When's the last time you did a mental rehearsal of a competition? Just got me thinking, this whole kind of aspect of lifting, we tend to be very focused on the programming, the nutrition, getting the outcomes, but not a lot of people seem to pay a lot of attention to the actual mental side of it. And the mental side of it is absolutely massive within powerlifting. It's an individual sport. It's a closed individual sport. So it's just you and the weight. There's no weather. The only extenuating factor you might have, maybe a judge makes a dodgy call, but that's still how you rack that, still intrinsic. It's a very intrinsic sport, and since it's an intrinsic closed sport, how you approach things, your mental game is massively important, because ultimately the number one person who's going to fuck anything up is going to be you. So if you make yourself too anxious, or you're too worried about stuff, effectively you're going into the unknown because you've not practiced it in your head, you haven't done a mental representation. That's down to a lack of mental preparation on your part. So I think I'll link the video so you can have a look, but there's a lot of interesting concepts, and it got me thinking about working on technique and working on form. And
I'm going to do this. You have your steps of how to accomplish this task. How long does it take to do a rep? If you're walking up to the bar and you're going to take that bar out and set up and do a rep, 20 seconds? Does that seem about right? Okay, you have your steps. You know what you're trying to do. The only reason you're going to miss that, because you've been diligent and you have your steps and you know what you're trying to do, the only reason you're going to miss it is because you fuck it up. Can you not fuck up for 20 seconds? If you can manage to not fuck up for 20 seconds, you're going to make that lift. I don't care if I don't feel good today, the weights feel heavy today, I'm going to meet and I don't care. If you don't screw it up, it's going to happen. It's that simple. You're in control of this.
When's the last time you mentally thought about the sequence of going through a squat? When's the last time you thought about how you're going to approach the bar, where you're going to put it on your back, how many steps you're going to take back, how you're going to set your feet, how you're going to brace your core, how you're going to set your upper back, which part of you is going to break first, how you're going to sit down into the hole, what cadence are you going to sit down in, when you stand up, how you're going to stand up into the bar, which muscles are you going to use. When's the last time you actually sat down and broke down in your head every movement of an exercise when you're trying to learn technique? Think how many you can get in infinite amounts of mental reps, but there's only so much practice you can do. I think this is a hugely interesting topic. It's something I think I might look into in the future, because I think it's definitely a massive untapped research, certainly within lifting. Even within sport, there's a higher level sport, there is psychology involved, but not as much as you might think. And it is a huge, I've seen it with lifters, it's a hugely impactful support service. The mind is a massive thing, and something that we don't actually have control of for the most part. Well, the take homes here is that mental practice is almost as important as normal practice, and it's completely unexhaustive. You can do as much of it as possible. It's a great way of getting in millions or thousands of hours of practice, or helping you get in those thousands of hours of practice. Little downtime when you're brushing your teeth, when you're maybe in the car commuting to work, when you're in a queue in Tesco's or whatever. Think about it, get some mental preparation in. So if you're in the build up to the competition, imagine everything about the competition. Imagine the weigh-in, imagine the warm-up room, imagine how the bar is going to feel, imagine how 100 kilos is going to feel, imagine how your opener is going to feel, imagine how you're going to bury it. Imagine how easy it's going to feel. Imagine the sequence how it's going to go. Imagine every moment of taking that rack or taking that bar out of the rack, stepping back, setting your feet, putting your chest high, waiting for the ref to give the squat command, and then imagine how you're not going to go then. You're not under their control. You're going to go in your own time. You're going to bury it. It's going to be easy. Think about that. Think about your performance. Visualize your performance and try visualize everything around it so it becomes reality when the time comes. Thinking about the way you lift and breaking it down, even just doing like mental reps, or maybe even more important, so thinking about how you're gonna warm up for a heavy session, or how you're gonna approach competition, breaking down everything from the changer rooms to the travel there, rehearsing in your head. By the time it comes to game day, or by the time it comes to meet day, you're going to be ready, because you're going to visualize this hundreds of times. So nothing will be a surprise, everything will be automatic. Give it a try, I guarantee you'll find some success with it. This has been Stronger by the Day 34. I'm Mark Keys, thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. If you want any questions, or if you want to leave a comment below for any questions, I'll happily field them. Thank you very much for watching, I'll see you tomorrow for your next Strongest Day. Goodbye.